That always freaks me out. That like it starts like over and then fades. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Scuff Sector After Dark. Once again, we're down a man. So last week we were down Orion. This week, Jordan has been caught in the clutches of Papa Nurgle. So, we're going to be talking about Space Marine 2. And I've started fielding questions for our members for After Dark in the Discord. So we got a couple of those. If you are a YouTube member and you want to submit something for us to talk about on this show, go ahead and go into the member Q&A channel in the Discord and throw it there. We got 2 today. I don't know that you and I will have much to say on one of them, but
we'll find out.
We'll see. You might. I don't. Ryan, I'm going to pass over to you. I haven't played Space Marine 1.
You haven't played Space Marine 1?
I own it. I want to play it on stream. Either here or my stream, or I don't know, fucking
it's a fun game.
The Blunderdome login, I don't know.
How dare you? It is it's a fun game. It's a little clunky compared to like a normal shooter, because you're like a big dude in armor, so it has a bit of a learning curve in that. I've played through a chunk of the story. I haven't like finished it, but I'm probably gonna try to finish it here soon. I don't think there's a co-op for its single player story. Well, I guess it's a single player, but I did play a decent amount of the PvP, which was a lot of fun.
It always looked like a Gears of War-y kind of like
it's
smash 'em
very
up.
sort of Gears of War feel, just with the way the bolters handle and then the chain swords.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Space Marine 1 had executions, which I think was a thing in Gears of War. I didn't play a whole lot of Gears of War, just a little bit. I played a lot of Eternal Crusade, which was like a spin-off sort of Space Marine 1. It used like assets and animations. Assets and animations. Yeah, there we go. From Space Marine 1. And the combat was like a little bit different, but it was basically large-scale Space Marine 1 battles, which was a lot of fun. But in Space Marine 2, the scale of the battles is going to be getting smaller, because I believe in Space Marine 1 you can get up to 8v8. In Space Marine 2, I think the highest you can get is it just 4v4, or can you do 5v5? I think you might be able to do 5v5. We've lost your mic if you're talking.
There was an I muted myself, sorry. There was an article over on Warhammer Community today about the multiplayer. So
yeah, I watched the trailer for the multiplayer today, and it was just 4v4, but I can't remember if that's the max. But it looked good. The classes seem to have their own distinct sort of flavor to them.
It says there's a 12-man multiplayer mode. So I would assume that's either 4v4, v4, v4, or 6v6.
It's probably 6v6.
Yeah, because there's six classes, so that would make sense. Because 4v4, v4, v4 wouldn't make sense. Because it'd have to be chaos. It has to be chaos versus Imperium. Because I don't see 40K being a game that's gonna break that mold.
In terms of two sides facing each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, originally, not to diverge too much on Eternal Crusade, but I
No. I mean, it's all relevant, right? It's all part of it.
Originally, Eternal Crusade, if I remember correctly, was going to have like a big battle mode where Tyranids were attacking. Like the Tyranids were in that game, and they were only like an enemy element. You couldn't play as Tyranids ever. And there was going to be a big mode, if I remember correctly, where Tyranids would come in and start attacking things occasionally, while Space Marines and Chaos Marines, or Eldar, Orcs, whatever combination of those 4 factions fighting each other would be happening.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not impossible, but that's like a tricky thing to balance, especially on a small scale. I think it would have worked well on like a large scale. It's like, oh, this objective is about to be swarmed, and so like it becomes a hazard, sort of. Uh, yeah, Jordan says Eternal Crusade was going to have a lot of things. It was going to be it was supposed to be the planet side of 40K, which would have been amazing, but it wasn't. Uh, it was still fun to me though. It was very clunky, but anyway,
Hmm.
Space Marine 2 looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for the operations, which is like the uh,
PVE.
PVE mode, like 3-person co-op.
Hmm.
Um, I watched a little gameplay of that. The
I mean,
thing I was really
I
curious,
assume we're gonna do that on we're gonna do that a lot here on After Dark and on
maybe.
like Elliot's stream and my
I
stream,
mean,
and I think Blooderdome
if we're
will
not
make
doing it
yeah.
here, we're gonna
Yeah,
fire
exactly. I
Thunderdome back up.
look, if you're gonna see lots of the Slam Sector cast either playing that here or other places, so you'll get a lot of that because I watched the only thing I've really watched for the multiplayer, and I guess it's not really multiplayer, is the like customization stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Someone
For
did
the
video.
chapter, like making your marine.
Yeah, someone put out a video on it today, and the way it works is like so you unlock. I don't know how I just diverged this so much, but I just my brain went to it. Cats are trying to get in the
Yeah,
room.
just hijack the stream. That's all right.
The way it worked was like so. Let's say you unlock Space Wolves. You unlock the way you unlock Space Wolves is you unlock each of the colors. So Fenrisian Gray, Averland
Yeah,
Sunset, and whatever their red is. I don't know.
which that's kind of it's kind of an interesting way to do it because
Hmm.
in a way it kind of mimics the hobby. It's like, oh, I
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
paint
yeah.
my guy as a space wolf. I gotta go out and buy the paints to do it with,
Yeah,
and then
so
you can paint your guy as a space wolf. It's kind of funny.
yeah, and then you can also use those colors. Then once you have those colors, you can use them other places. So yeah, because that's what it was
Yeah,
doing. Like when they like showed the thing, it had like just a full paint like swatch thing, and when you hovered over
yeah.
them, they're like GW paint colors. So like I think that's kind of cool. Um, but it also is a bummer. Like you have to like work your way towards like so. For example, you and I, I'm sure both want the Black Templars one. We have to work our way toward like
Yeah,
through other chapters to
eventually.
get to Templars. So
I think the first thing I'm gonna try to do in Space Marine is I'm gonna try to resurrect Brother Scaris, that like little melted marine. I'm gonna see if I can recreate that goofy ass paint scheme I had as a kid, and run him with like a plasma rifle.
I mean, I get to
And
relive.
he did.
I get to relive my lost chapter because uh, right when the Imperial Agents Codex becomes legal and Deathwatch becomes illegal, this game comes out, and the tutorial mission is Deathwatch. So
Well, there you go.
the
Your
only
lost
first
chapters, technically,
lush,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. The only firstborn Marine armor in the game is Deathwatch. So is the Mark
Oh, really?
Seven?
I was
Yeah,
wondering
Mark's.
about that. If you could get like an older Mark helmet and put
I
it on
assume you'll be able to
Primaris,
get an.
because
I assume you'll be able to get like a beaky helmet and like a Mark Seven helmet and stuff. But I don't know that you'll be
yeah,
able to get like actual Mark Seven armor, except for the Death Watch, which is
eh,
like kind of weird Mark Seven armor. Is it Mark Eight armor? It might be Mark Eight. It's got a. I think Death Watch armor is
Mark
a weird armor mark.
Mark 8 was the one with like the really big
Okay, then
front
yeah,
plate,
that's
if I
then
remember
Death
right.
Watch is Mark Eight. They have a
Yeah.
it's a Gorget. Gorget.
Gorget?
Gorget
Gorget? Yeah, yeah.
would be the
It's a French word, probably, right?
yeah, the English pronunciation would be Gorget. The Gorget would be the correct
Gorget.
um,
Squire,
pronunciation.
bring me my Gorget. Anyway. Yeah, the
Yeah,
customization looks really cool.
at least from what I've seen, Jordan, it's all Mark 10. But you
Yeah.
got like Blade Guard. You get some like variables in there, so it's not like
I'm
all Mark 10.
there's Phobos. There's Phobos. I know there's Gravis and Phobos.
But those are Mark. Those
I
are
know that
so
for
it's,
sure.
yeah. So those are still Mark 10.
They're
Uh,
variants, but
yeah, I agree. I agree. That's but it's Mark because it's Mark X Phobos and Mark X Gravis is the
yeah, I have to imagine in the Space Marine 1 in the customization there was different like you could get different types of like van braces and different parts of the armor and you could swap them out like different styles of shoulder plate. I have to imagine that's still going to be in there. And like once you start swapping parts out on a Mark 10, at some point it's like it's a Space Marine. In my
Well, like
mind, they're all just Space Marines.
if you can
Firstborn,
move,
Primaris, I don't care about the distinction
yeah, I
between
agree.
those.
I agree. But like if you can move the like for example the knee pads, right? If you can move the knee pad over from Phobos to Mark 10 and keep the rest of the leg guard, I mean then that's a Mark it instantly makes it look a lot more like Mark 7.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like they'll probably name them. They probably won't use the armor marks. It'll probably be like veteran leg, and it'll have like a
mhm.
Mark 7 style leg or something.
Yeah.
Because I mean the Chaos Marines aren't running around in Mark 10 armor, so they're gonna
Presumably,
have like,
right?
yeah. I mean, it's
But I mean they kind of all
the
have their
base of the
own.
model's still there.
Yeah, but they're kind of like their own armor mark at this point, right? Because it'll be the Legionnaire, like the
Yeah.
Chaos Legionnaire armor, and then you'll have the Death Guard armor. I'm sure you'll have the like Night Lords, like Batwing stuff. You know, I think they'll
Well,
do a
the
lot
helmet
of
for the Night Lords has the wings. The
the like.
armor between like a Night Lord and an Iron Warrior and a Black Legion is all pretty much the same. It's like the paint scheme, that
Mhm.
changes.
I mean,
But
unless they
yeah, we'll
give
just have to see.
like I think Iron Warriors, I instantly think Mark III, right? Like, so
Yeah,
I
the bucket helm is definitely like the iconic one
yeah.
for them. But they still use everything.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, customization looks really cool. Uh,
Yeah, Jordan.
I'm really excited for like some of the chaos stuff because I think it just looks really good. Like I've seen pictures of the Night Lord uh, armor, and it's like there's like a couple of different schools of thought on Night Lord armor. In some of the lore, it's just painted on lightning bolts, and some of the lore there's like actual lightning bolts, and they kind of like met in the middle on that. It's like there's the lightning bolt pattern on there, and it has like a little bit of a glow to it. But it just looks really sick.
Which do
Uh,
you prefer?
I like it unless they're like possessed
Mhm.
or a demon prince, or they have like there's been like war gear items that are things like Stormbolt plate, which is like the armor is like made to shoot lightning bolts out of it.
Right.
Outside of those cases, I like it if it's just painted on
Painted. But you could
because
paint it
like
in like a fluorescent or like reflective paint.
yeah,
It'll
you could
give that
paint it
effect. Yeah.
to be visible, but like the Night Lords are like a legion that they haven't gone whole hog into chaos. Some will say they haven't gone into chaos at all. Some will say
We know that's not
they
true.
didn't choose to, but if you dabble in it at all, you wind up falling to it. Whatever the case, they were painting lightning bolts on their armor during the Horus Heresy, during the Crusade. So
Characters should have
that's
actual
sort of
lightning. I like
classic.
that.
Yeah, I mean it's really up to you. How warp tainted are your Night Lords?
Mhm.
Have the lightning bolts jumped off their armor and actually started crackling? It's all good, but not to diverge too much on that.
I mean, it,
Um,
it is what it is, right? Hey, okay, so you were talking about the operations, which is the
yeah,
PVE. Do we know much about it?
going back to that. So we don't know a whole lot. I was really curious whether like what kind of format it would be. I was really hoping it would just be like Space Marine Helldivers. I watched a
Sure.
video of them playing through a mission of it, and it's not quite that. It's not purely linear, from what I can tell. Like it's sort of like multi-branching, directed progression, is I guess what you could call it. Um, you basically have multiple paths to get to key points to progress through the mission, from what I can tell. Which again, like the video I was watching, it cut around. It definitely did not look like an open map, but it was pretty open in terms of like where you could go, how you could run around. So it looks like it'll be a lot of fun. If it's like procedurally generated levels, that'd be great. I don't really know about that yet. Uh, I really hope they are procedurally generated or somehow randomized so that every time you play through it, you're not doing the exact same mission because that would kill replayability real fast.
Yeah, I mean, I could
Uh,
see it being like sort of whether or not they do procedural, right? Like there's ways you can still randomize parts of the level to achieve a similar thing.
Yeah,
So I could definitely see that being a thing. Um,
procedural is probably the wrong. It probably won't be true procedural. It'd be more of like randomized.
yeah, like a set, like sets of
Elements.
elements that can move around and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
and then like you have map elements, a wide variety of those, and how they can lay out, and you get enough variation, enough options, and that the number of variations skyrockets. And then you have like deployment points for enemies, maybe, and then you change up what those can be. Like the whole mission gets very different every time you play. So I'm hoping that it's like that. It's like dynamic.
yeah, I mean, I would assume there would be a bunch of different mission types, and like maybe they're tied to different like structures that spawn on the map, and that would, I don't know.
Hmm.
There's like ways you can do it that are really simple, and there's ways you can do it that are a lot more complex. And my kind of worry is that a lot of this game development had to be focused on the story, right? So I don't know. I don't want. I guess I don't want to get my hopes up too much for the multiplayer. If
I'm. I mean,
you know what I mean.
Space Marine One still has a community, and it's purely because of the multiplayer. So if they didn't put time into the multiplayer, they're making
Oh,
it
I'm not. I'm
useless.
not
It
saying they didn't
seems
put
like they
time into
have.
the multiplayer. I'm not saying they didn't put time into the multiplayer. I'm just questioning like how much time did they have to devote to it? Because like
Yeah,
it's also another thing. It's also a thing where like they can come back to it later. You know. Um,
yeah. Like going forward, adding content to the multiplayer, I think is basically the only avenue they have, aside from like extending the storyline with another single player chapter.
yeah.
But the fastest way for them to like get people excited about the
Hooked.
game after launch is to like be like, here's Dreadnought mode or something like that.
I mean,
Because
and like
Dreadnought mode is a lot of fun.
we have friends that will play this game if there's good multiplayer, and they won't touch it if it's only single player. You know.
Yeah.
So
Uh, yeah. I know the operations. Someone I was watching was talking about in the operations. Each class has sort of, I guess, maybe a progression tree, and you can go down different paths in it.
okay.
And depending on what you choose, it changes the class and how it plays pretty dramatically. So that's cool. So like you have, is it 6 classes?
They said
I can't remember
six.
for operations if there's a different amount or not.
Oh, I would assume
I
it'd
think
be
it's
the
the same
same.
classes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be the same. But I didn't really
It-
dive too far into that.
yeah.
Um,
But yeah, so like you can have the 6 classes and then each one can be flavored a little differently. So that's nice. That's like a little bit of variation. Something to keep you coming back if you want to try a new play mode. Uh, Jordan Jordan says I'll play this game too much, no matter what, because I'm a degenerate. Yeah, I'll probably be right there with you. I'm always gonna be chasing uh, Eternal Crusade, uh, and probably never feeling that feeling again. But
sure.
yeah,
Trying to see if this
one
video
thing I know for the
shows.
multiplayer that Jordan is hoping for is a spectator mode, to where you can have a full
Right.
match and a spectator. Because if you have that, then you can run tournaments because
Hmm.
you can stream the battles as a third party. Uh, so hopefully,
Yeah.
fingers crossed that they thought about that. Uh, so there could be like I don't know, a Space Marine 2 tournament.
Yeah. For those that don't know, technically, we all know Jordan because he ran a video game tournament that some of y'all were part of.
Some of us were world champions
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
in
We didn't have to
squadrons.
brag. We didn't have to brag.
Well, our buddy Star Wars Explained put together a
Got a
squadron
little,
for that.
got a little Stash Squadron emblem
Yeah,
on my.
Stash Squadron.
Then again, I have Twin Sun Squadron next to it, so
Oh my god! Oh, I can't help but notice that the Twin Sun Squadron is overlapping on top of the Stash Squadron,
yeah.
which
And
only
then there's a
means you put the
fucking
Stash
chain
Squadron sticker
reaction.
on. You put the Stash Squadron sticker on first, which makes them higher ranked, in your opinion. because they were the first thought, right? That's how that works.
You know what? There was one on my trash can too, but I threw it away. I threw my trash can away the other day. I got a new trash can.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna have to talk to
It
Alex
it
about
was more a
this.
shot. Oh, Alex, no, I've shown Alex. I showed Alex. I was looking up Space Marine 2, seeing if I can get a idea of the classes. Um,
Yeah. There's pictures out there that have you can
yeah, let's
see.
see.
It's like in the customization menus.
Mm-hmm.
You
You
at certain
select
points you can
your.
see them all listed out. There's like assault, vanguard,
All right, it's
tactical. Oh yeah.
Oh, go ahead. No, no, no,
Go
no.
ahead.
You're good. Assault, Vanguard,
Uh,
Tactical,
okay. Is one of them called bulwark?
Bulwark,
Ooh. Okay. What would the sniper be? Is it just? It's not just sniper, is it? It's
Sniper. It's just Sniper.
a sniper. Oh, there's just one more.
Mm-hmm.
There's six, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, let's see. I got assault, tactical, vanguard, bulwark, sniper. The fuck am I missing?
It's a real simple.
Vanguard is
It's another real simple one. Like
no.
Sniper, where
Yeah, but
it's like
sniper.
it's a
Oh,
term that could be in any game. And I will tell you, because Bulwark's there, you will probably think that this is not a different class. But I will also
Bastion.
say, no, he's more simple than Bastion. Um,
Oh,
Bulwark. So I think Bulwark is the Blade Guard vet. So this would be the
uh,
Gravis. Would be a
heavy.
heavy,
It's just heavy.
just heavy. Yeah, tactical,
What
assault,
could?
Vanguard, Bulwark, Sniper, and heavy.
All right,
So
I did it.
you did it. Um,
I'm a real space marine now.
yeah. So it looks like assaults. So tactical is just regular Marine. Uh, the assault has the jump packs. Vanguard is Phobos. Bulwark is Blade Guard vet. Um,
It's interesting for the chaos that the because like the vanguard in the video I watched, the
mhm.
vanguard was a corn marine, but he had a bolter. It was odd. He had a bolter
Okay.
in the
Yeah,
grappling
yeah, yeah.
hook.
Weird.
Uh,
Um, Sniper is an eliminator, but it looks like it gets other Phobos options too as part of that. Heavy is the Gravis, but like it's kind of a weird proportion Gravis. I don't fucking know. Anyways,
Jordan says I have a lot of friends who aren't into Warhammer that are really looking forward to this game.
for
Aren't into
sure.
Warhammer yet, but as soon as they
I don't
start
know.
hitting that space marine crack, be like, I'll just buy one miniature to make my dude from Space Marine 2. Like, if GW doesn't release like I don't know a slightly discounted like Space Marine set, like where you can buy like individual classes and they have a few options.
Well, I mean, they already
I
released
feel
a
like they're messing
they
up.
already released an overpriced board game that you can get Titus in. Is like you can get like 10 models or 11 models, 10 of which are like Termagants, and then a Titus for like a full price board game. It was fucking dumb.
Yeah.
But okay,
Yeah.
here's my speculation, Ryan. You ready?
Yeah.
They should release Titus rules alongside the Agents of the Imperium Codex and give us Death Watch Lieutenant Titus. You can
That
fill him
would
in
be
any army.
a pro move.
Oh, sorry. One Speed Wonder says it's 21 models.
It's 21 models.
The board game I was
Wouldn't
talking
it only
about.
be?
So it was
Oh, the board
20
game.
Termagants and Titus.
My goodness.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, like
It's real bad.
they should release a blister that has like one for each class, a few options. Make it like cause characters are usually like I could be off on this, but like $35. Make it like 25. They're not gonna not make profit on that. They'll make less than they care to, but it's injection molding. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Do that, and then have a little kit that is like Titus and 2 Termagants and a bunch of paints, and be like, and then be like, hey, if you've bought all of these, that's a squad for 40K.
Yeah. Sure.
Or a kill team or something. Like there's things they could do there to
Yeah,
just
they
get
can
people
certainly get
pull
people in.
people in.
So other than that, Ryan, we've got some speculation. So first, I just want to say this isn't me saying I told. Oh, One Speed Wonder says it was $50 for that fucking game. Crazy,
The
crazy.
like Titus versus all the Termagants game.
Yeah, yeah. So
Were you about to attack me about Agents of the Imperium?
yeah, I just want to say I was right about everything.
Yeah.
But there was an image I wanted to show. There was an image I wanted to show
So
because
so I'm just gonna say you were right, but I wasn't wrong in saying that you couldn't say for certain, because that's all I ever said.
sure, okay.
You couldn't say for certain that these things were dead.
I unrelated. I also called the like exact species traits for High Elf as well. So like for the new D&D edition. So I'm 2 for 2 on the
Oh, I was
two
like,
called shots I've made in the last 2 weeks about game rules. I've been 2 for 2. Okay, I wanted to pull this up because there's an
Jordan
image.
was wrong though,
I wasn't gonna do that.
because he was like
He's
the kill
sick. I
team.
wasn't gonna do that to him.
Yeah, no, let's beat him up while he's not here and sick. Like
Um,
we were both right. You were more right. Jordan was absolutely wrong.
I wanted to pull
So
this
case
up
closed.
because there was an image in the article yesterday that might have spoiled another data sheet in the Agents of the Imperium Codex. I'm sorry, that's the wrong image. Oh my God, what have we done?
Yeah, the Space Marine 2 Space Marines are fucking caked.
Yeah, look at that! Look at that! Oh my God,
If you want
because
to
there's that.
cosplay a Space Marine now, you gotta start doing some
You
squats.
gotta have that cake. So this image from the Inquisitor article yesterday, we have a Caria Draxus in the foreground. Now I want to grain of salt here, right? Because we have Seraphim in the front, we got some Mechanicus here, but we have Caria Draxus. We've got a Immolator, which we know is
Is it
Agents of the Imperium. Yeah, it's an Immolator.
I don't see the turret on top.
Oh,
of it.
sorry. This one's this is a Sisters Rhino.
Okay.
This is a Inquisition Rhino. There's Death Watch back here, and we have the Land Raider in
So
Agents of the Imperium colors.
to be devil's advocate,
Sure.
or how do we know that that is not a Land Raider painted up like Death Watch for like a Death Watch
We
themed
don't.
Space Marine army?
We don't know that.
Because like I'm pretty sure there's Death Watch on the shelf, the ledge above it, because I can see like silver.
Yeah, I
arms
pointed them.
in it.
There are. I pointed them out. The reason I suspect that is because it is surrounded by the sister stuff, and I
But how do we know
mean,
those aren't Death Watch rhinos?
because they're clearly not. They've got sisters shit all over them. This
I
one's
see the
got
fleur
sister
de
shit.
lis. I see the
Yeah.
fleur de lis on top. They both look like rhinos to me.
Hmm.
The back one's definitely sister. Can
Yeah,
you
the front one
scroll
can.
to the left?
This is as far as it goes.
Or that's the edge of the picture?
Yeah.
Front
So
one could be something different.
front one can
But
go either way. But I think it's still sisters. Because that's not the Inquisition door pattern that we had from the old Forge World kit. And they don't typically, with new armies, they're not typically using out of production stuff anymore. They'll use it in code. They'll use it in codex art, like some of the Black Templar stuff from last edition had some stuff that's out of production or kit bashed, but they're not going to put it in a new codex, right? So they're not going to put it in the World Eaters code, like the World Eaters codex that came out last edition, or the Guard codex that came out last edition. because they were like range refreshes or new armies. They're not
Hmm.
going to add old stuff to it. So I don't expect them to use like that Inquisition door thing, because then everyone's going to go, where can we get that? And you can't. Sorry, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
But
there's models in the Drukhari army, core models that
that are just out of
just
print.
don't exist to
Yeah, yeah,
purchase.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, it was the same thing with Death Watch with Artemis, right? Watch Captain Artemis
yeah.
has been whatever they call it in deep sleep, or whatever their term is, for however long.
Yeah.
But another thing from the article today, we have some speculation that Eisenhorn and Karamazov are out.
Explain that to me more, because
So the
you,
article
you
talks.
you said that you thought he got squatted earlier today.
I think
I
they're
was
going to
curious
Legends.
about
I think
that.
they're going to Legends. So um, the article today talked about the three named characters in yeah, who are the three named characters in the Agents of the Imperium Codex. The three named Inquisitors. Who are the three named Inquisitors? Which tells me there are only three named Inquisitors, right?
Sounds like it.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's pretty cut and dry. Like,
Again, I'll say what I said before. These articles,
have been wrong. They've been wrong in the past. Absolutely.
like they're going to focus on the things that they've shown,
Hmm.
and they've only shown those three Inquisitors. It's possible there could be
But
more.
it's not like those other Inquisitors don't exist. Like, so I would be with you. I'd be with you if those other two Inquisitors didn't already have like models and rules, right? Because we've seen some like rules changes. We have a data sheet for the Vindicare. The Vindicare is a little bit better. It can target lone ops now. We have a data sheet for the not the Navy Breach. Is it the Navy Breachers or the Rogue Trader attaché, whatever they're called, Rogue Trader Entourage. They have a
Yeah.
rule that says if they're accompanied by an Imperial Navy character, they don't count against your retinue units. So I'm kind of wondering if other units are going to have a similar thing, which would help with the Death Watch
Interesting.
issue. So that would help with the Death Watch going into a Space Marine Army issue. It would let you field 4 Death Watch units rather than just 2, with two characters. The other thing we have that is new confirmation that's going to help Death Watch out is that the Corvus is going to be dedicated transport. So Corvus Black Star dedicated transport. You can bring as many as you want. Well, up to equal to the number of squads you have, or 3 or something. I don't know. Whatever the fuck it is. So, but yeah, we have some rules for Ordo Xenos, Ordo Hereticus, and Ordo Codiaz. They're basically the same as what we've had in the past. It's nothing new, nothing that exciting. But it does make it seem like there's only the 2 named characters. Or the 3 named characters, one per
Three.
Ordo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, they could just be pushing the 3 branches sort of theme, but we'll see.
certainly, yeah, you're
I mean,
right.
Eisenhorn's like one of those characters that's sort of larger than life. Uh, so in a way, I could see them leaving him out because of that. But I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, if he's like, look, if he's in Legends rules, I think people that are playing this army are gonna use Legends rules just fine. You know, like
Yeah.
fucking, it's the people that, yeah, like you're playing an army built of kill teams, right? You're gonna play
Yeah.
whatever you're gonna play. So, hey,
I'm just
once
hoping.
real quick, One Speed Wonder brings up RIP Deathwatch Terminators. You know what those Deathwatch Terminators would make great proxies for? Grey Knights Terminators.
That's true.
So that's what I'm going to do with my Deathwatch Terminators is count them as Grey Knights Terminators for agents armies, because
And you can. The Great Knights Terminators can get things like side cannons and stuff, right?
I don't know the rules on Grey Knights Terminators, but yeah, I assume so.
I'm pretty sure they have some heavy weapons. So like
Yeah.
your plasma cannons, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's a special plasma cannon with this profile.
Jordan, normal Terminators. Yeah, but I mean specifically in an agent's army, they could be Grey Knights Terminators. But yeah, well, the issue with them being normal Terminators, all of my Deathwatch Terminators and most Deathwatch players have too many heavy weapons for a normal Terminator squad. So,
And have
um,
plasma cannons, which unless you're Dark Angels,
yeah, yeah,
as
yeah,
far as I
yeah.
know, you can't take.
Yeah, but you could easily say the plasma cannon counts as something else, right? Um,
Yeah.
my issue is all of mine are missile racks, cyclones. So like
Oh.
I've got to trim off cyclones to just make them normal terminators. But all right, I'm
I'm
gonna go
just hoping.
to. Oh, go ahead. You talk. I'm gonna
I was gonna
find.
say I'm just hoping I can make a full Arbites army, and I can issue. I can like what do they call it? Execute warrants. Is that the right word? On
Yeah,
enforce
yeah,
warrants on
yeah.
like arresting, Gazgol and Abaddon for their, crimes and bad parking across the Imperium. Like you parked that Blackstone Fortress in a no parking zone, sir. You're under arrest.
Um. Yeah, I like the idea. I mean, with Arbites, you can like field a whole lot of Arbites too, because like there's three different squad loadouts. So assuming one
Yeah.
of those is battle line, that's 6 squads plus three plus three. So you get at minimum 12 squads. If
I
two
just
of
hope
them,
there's like a character I can put in them. Like I hope I can like attach an Inquisitor to them. I hope there's like transports they can hop in
yeah,
so
I
that they're
think you
like
could.
a functional army.
If you can't put an Inquisitor, you'll be able to put the Ministorum Priest. I think at minimum, right? Like
Yeah.
Ministorum Priest. I don't think you'll be able to put a Navigator. I think Navigator might be lone op, um, but I'm not sure. Um,
I just want a hard boiled detective Inquisitor running with the
yeah,
Arbites in like a trench coat. Trench coat? Trench cloak. Can't speak today.
Inquisitor Durnessman.
No, he's gone a little too radical. I have to hunt him down one day.
Hashtag long live Inquisitor Durnessman. All right. So our members, two of our members submitted some topics for us. And first one, Alpha Omega, who I'm assuming is in the chat right now. Yep, looks like they
I
are.
see him.
Oh, they pointed out the three non-resin characters, the ones remaining. Yeah, is Karamazov resin? I always thought he was plastic.
I've
Bless
got a
you.
sneeze. I don't know. I don't know.
Bless you.
It's gone. It
All
went
right.
inside my brain.
So Alpha Omega brings up that we've got some Blood Angels rules on the horizon. What detachments do we think they'll get? What rules do we think they'll get for those detachments? So I don't know anything about Blood Angels like rules wise, but I could say safely they will get a normal, regular, standard Blood Angels detachment that is what they currently have. They will get a
Yeah.
Death Company detachment, and they will probably get like a Sanguinary Guard, like Blood Angels Honor Guard kind of detachment, similar to like First Company veterans, maybe. It's my prediction, but I don't know what they would do. I don't know what they would do rules wise for those.
Uh,
Because like you can't
yeah,
make
I'm
them
not
all just
sure.
they charge into battle real good, right? Like that's kind of the
Yeah,
limiting factor.
because the current Blood Angel rule is they get like what +1. Is it attack on the charge or strength?
I think
I
it's
should.
yeah, it's like a similar to the old charge in rule for Space Marines. But I'm not 100% sure. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
That's a
definitely think
question that
they'll get like 3 detachments: standard Blood Angels, Death Watch, Sanguinary Host might be the name of one of them.
Death Company.
Death Company. Did I say Death Watch?
You said Death Watch.
I always get those mixed up.
That's fine. Yeah. Deathwing, Death Watch, Death Company, Death Guard.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
Too many
so they
deaths.
currently get +1 attack and +2 strength on the charge. Oh,
Dang.
you know what? One Speed Wonder brings up a good point. We could get a Lamenters chapter and a Flesh Tearers, or Lamenters and Flesh Tearers detachments. Would be good.
I don't think that's going to happen. It'd be fun.
I think Flesh Tearers is more likely, right? Because we've had Flesh Tearers rules in previous editions.
Yeah.
And like, isn't there a Flesh Tearers character model still, or is he gone? There was.
Is he resin? I think.
He might be resin. You might be right. Might be right. But that would be like, if they decided they wanted to throw them a bone, if we want to hold them to possibly that 4 detachment, per codex rule, if they've maybe felt the backlash from some of that,
Yeah.
Like 4 even feels low. Yeah, Flesh Tearers seems more unlikely, or more likely. But still, yeah, I agree. It does seem like they want to kind of move. Yeah, Gabriel Seth was the character. Thank you.
Yeah,
One Speed Wonder.
I just don't see them making like sub-chapter. Has there been a codex for a non-standard Space Marine come out yet?
Just Dark Angels.
Just Dark Angels? And they had no...
Well, but they kind of do, right? Like, they kind of do with... They do and they don't, right? Like, Deathwing and Ravenwing are kind of in that same ballpark.
Those aren't successor chapters.
You're
Those
right,
are
but they...
parts of Dark Angels.
You're right, but they do sort of function as their own, like...
They function as their own, like, thing.
Yeah.
In the same way that Death Company functions as its own thing inside of Blood Angels.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're not a successor chapter.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if we only get 3 detachments per successor, if it's just standard Blood Angels,
Yeah.
Death Company, and Sanguinary. Like, because, and almost from a power level standpoint too as well, right? Because they already have access to all 6 Space Marine detachments. So you might as well hold them to 3 in their codex. I don't think you should charge full price for that codex.
No, they will.
Yeah, Jordan points out that Dark Angels successors all function as Dark Angels anyways. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
it doesn't make sense for them to have a successor.
Use the core Blood Angels rules is going to be the way they want you to go with that.
I mean, really, that's also sort of true with like Space Wolves, right? Because they just have great companies. They only have one successor, and it's kind of a weird like corner case successor. I believe.
Sorry, I was reading some Death Company rules.
I said Space Wolves kind of function the same way. They only have the great companies and then one successor, but that successor is a big old corner case. It's like almost not a successor.
Wolf Spear.
Yeah, Wolf Spear.
I mean, yeah, Space Wolves are very divergent.
Yeah,
in that way.
Hey, speaking of, the next question is from what I think this is. I think this name in Discord, I think this is One Speed Wonder, if I'm not mistaken. Next question is from who I'm going to call One Speed Wonder. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, well. And he says, if the Blood Angels are getting several new models, and the last 2 Divergent chapters get more than 1 new model, like most other factions, what do we predict for the next reveal show as far as, like... Or I guess, what do we predict for the other... successors. So what models do you want to see for Space Wolves and who's left? Space Wolves, Black Templars.
Do we have confirmation of how many of the non-codex chapters we're getting books for?
I would assume everyone that had a book in the index and last edition, minus Death Watch.
Like, are White Scars getting their own codex? Because they're
they're compliant.
They're a compliant chapter, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I would have thought with all their outs and everything.
I mean, they're like all the compliant chapters are compliant within like a span, So So like they tend
Yeah.
heavier towards fast attack, but like they still have normal like tank divisions and first company terminators and dreadnoughts and stuff like that. Like they're still fielding all that in relatively normal numbers. It's just they fit in fast attack where they can other spots. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, I think it's just what Space Wolves,
Space Wolves, Black
Black
Templar.
Templars, Grey Knights, arguably.
That it? Gray. Yeah. Well, yeah. Grey Knights are not really
Well, sure, but we can
my
guess
favorite.
what they'll get model wise, right? Like I think
Yeah.
Grey Knights will probably
I
get
would hope they get new
Terminators.
regular Grey Knights and Terminators. I
Yeah,
hope they all get sized up.
they absolutely need new Grey Knights Terminators, and I think they need their chapter master, whose name escapes me, is Caldor Drago, because he's
Oh,
still
Caldor
resin.
Drago. Yeah.
He's still resin, I think.
Yeah. A new Caldor Drago and just new models
New
that
Terminators.
are the right size. Because like they got what was it, Castle and Crow on the last update, and that was
He
it.
looks so
And
good.
like he looks amazing,
Hmm.
but when you play a Grey Knights player and there's like Castle and Crow like
They have
Chimera
another. Don't they have
size,
another one too? Don't then they get just get Valdis or something?
they may have gotten another one. I don't really keep up with Grey Knights, but it just looks funny when he's standing next to the like little like
Yeah.
little tiny Grey Knights.
Jordan
Uh,
says Space Wolves get Wolfguard and Blood Claws. I think they'll get new
you think they're gonna
Wolfen.
get Wolfen?
I think they'll get new
They're gonna
Wolfen.
pop the Wolfen out?
I think they'll get new
That'd be
Wolfen
interesting.
and new Thunderwolf cavalry.
Now here's
Actually, you know what? Oh, Jordan's got a good point. Wolfen Dread for Primaris Dreads.
a Wolfen Dread. That'd be
Wolfen
interesting.
Redemptor or a Wolfen Brutalis.
Do
Because
you think?
we know that Blood Angels are going to have Death Company rules for their dreadnoughts. So
Hmm.
we might see a Wolfen Dread. So let's say we're going to get a Wolfen Dread, and I think Thunderwolf Cavalry. I think the
Are
Wolfen
there new
Terminators
Wolfen?
look good. I think they look too good to replace. I know they're still smaller, but they look so fucking good. Still, aren't those newer model kits? I think all the Space Wolf stuff's pretty new, isn't it?
I thought the Wolfen were still old. I
They're
haven't
not
really kept
old.
up
I
with
think
them
they're
recently
new. They're just
either.
awkward. They're like really awkward posing.
Oh yeah, these are new,
Yeah.
newish, newer than I thought they were.
Hmm. They're just posed
I
really
thought the
awkward.
Wolfen were some old stuff.
The other thing that's an easy thing to release for Space Wolves, because they have a sprue for it, it's just not currently available, is their lieutenant from the Space Wolves versus Gene Stealer box. The lieutenant with a frost axe.
Oh yeah.
Um, like that'd be an easy thing to just release. Especially because we saw the Blood Angels captain. I wouldn't be so shocked if that happened. Wolvener 7th edition. That's fair.
Seventh edition.
I think the
Yeah, I
current
haven't really
Deathwatch
looked at
box is
Space
7th
Wolf
edition
line in a
too,
long
isn't it?
time. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But I don't know. Templars,
I don't think they're gonna get much,
I
to
don't think
be
they'll get much
honest with
either
you.
because they just got a range refresh. They don't really need anything.
Maybe Terminators,
I mean,
but
they could get Terminators.
I
I
don't.
I'm gonna go on the same train and say my hot take is they're gonna get a Chaplain Dread
I would love that, especially if he's an HQ choice.
or an or
Because
like an Ancient Dread, like with the banner, with
yeah,
the old with like because the old Forge World Templar Dread had got one here in pieces. The old Forge World Templar's Dread had like a banner similar to the banner on the Grimaldus retinue with the like skeleton.
oh yeah,
I can't open this little baggie. My everything's too sweaty. Wolfguard Terminators are 5th edition. Okay, then yeah. I think I wouldn't be shocked if everyone gets well, I guess everyone, but oh, you know what? Templars are gonna get assault terminators. Because there's no assault terminators with Blood Angels. So Templars
the,
they'll release
the
the
new
assault
the new Terminator kit doesn't have bits for assault.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see assault Terminators coming out with.
Yeah.
But if they do that, they're not going to be like Templar assault Terminators
No,
unless they
no.
make like a grade sprue.
Yeah, so
You got to
the
like put your hand. Oh, there it
yeah,
goes.
no. Well, the problem is there's no light over here. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a little skeleton
There
with
it is.
a banner. The head's not on there right now. But yeah, that was on the back of the old Templar dedicated dreadnought. Space Wolf's getting upgrades through for 3 basic Marines that would have frost weapons on it. Yeah, that'd be cool. Like for the assault Marines. I don't know. I mean, like they're definitely moving everything towards the Primaris angle. We just want to hope that they do it the way that Templars did it, and not the way that like Blood Angels did it with their Death Company, I guess. Yeah, because there's no way they release that. If speculation's correct, and Blood Angels are also getting Sanguinary Guard and Sanguinor, there's no way they also release Assault Terminators. So Assault
Yeah, I've heard
Terminators would have to come
a
with
lot.
Templars if they're doing that at all.
I've
That
heard a
would make
lot of rumors about Sanguinary Guard
yeah.
coming. Oh, because there's like people who are upset about the rumors that they're not going to have wings anymore on their jetpacks. Like they're going to have like little baby wings.
I don't know, man. Give them. You know what I would do? I would give them the fucking wings from the Prosecutors kit, the Age of Sigmar Prosecutors. I think those would look sick on there. I don't actually like the
Yeah.
angel wings on Space Marines. I think they look silly.
I mean, they're blood angels. So
I know, but you can
and
give them like
Sanguinius had angel wings.
yes, but it makes sense for Sanguinor and Sanguinius and like the named characters. But I think for like the
Yeah.
actual Sanguinary Guard, give them something more stylistic, like the Prosecutor wings or something. That's just,
Yeah.
but that's just my take, right? I'm not a Blood Angels player, so like, fuck my opinion, right?
Just fuck it right up.
Yeah.
Welcome to Slam Sector.
Welcome to Slam Sector. Fuck your opinion. Our opinions don't care about your feelings.
Yeah, I could see the Black Templars, the Assault Terminators, and then like an Assault or like a Terminator upgrade kit, because you'd only need like one Terminator upgrade kit for both kits, right? That just gives them a front plate tabard.
Yeah, hypothetically.
You know
Yeah,
what I
you're
mean?
right.
That would
You're
be
right.
cool. I can't
That'd be-
really see them getting much more than that, if they get that even.
Yeah, I don't know that they'll get the upgrades through, but I would be down if they did. But yeah, I would
Be
see
rad.
Assault Terminators. It kind of would be weird if they don't release Assault Terminators this edition, but also they might just wait till next edition so that like anyone who's bought into Assault Terminators already doesn't feel like slighted, I guess. And then they could just release them at the start of 11th, because they have to release something in 11th, and that would be the easy answer. Would be Assault Terminators, right?
Yeah, I could see them saving that as like
Yeah.
a big part of the launch box.
Mhm.
Which makes me start speculating as what the launch box would be, but
I mean, it could be. It would have to
I'm
be.
thinking-
I mean, I think that the next one's got to be Chaos. I think it's got to be Chaos versus.
yeah, because it's been Necrons, it's been Tyranids.
Yeah.
We got to touch back on Chaos again.
Yeah. It'll be Necrons, Tyranids, Chaos, and then Orcs. 12th edition's Orcs. I'm calling it now.
Unless, I don't know, hear me out. Unless next edition's Orcs, and we go back to Armageddon, and the launch box is Black Templar versus Orcs.
Oh, you know what? Hold on, because 13th edition's got to be Chaos.
Oh yeah, 13th edition
Right.
has to be like
Yeah.
Abaddon's next big move.
So I think
Right.
so that actually makes me think 11th edition will be Chaos, 12th will be Orcs, and then 13th will be Chaos.
13th will be the 13th Black Crusade.
Yeah. So we'll probably get, because we can get like, if hypothetically we get Noise Marines, Emperor's Children, sometime next year. Then we got a year left on the Codex, or the year left on the edition. God, I hope they take longer on the editions than 3 years, but they're not going to. I already fucking know they're not
it's
going to.
gonna happen.
So, like, let's say we get next year sometime. We get, let's say next summer, right? We get Emperor's Children, and then 11th edition is also Emperor's Children. So more Emperor's Children models.
You don't.
Honestly, Thousand Suns needs more fucking models too, man. Like,
No, they got
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Their models are pretty modern.
No. But they need more. They need something other. They
Yeah,
only really have 2, 3 units, 4 units, I
I
guess.
would like to. I would like for them to get non-rubric Thousand Sun Marines because they're out there in the lore, and they're
Oh,
like all
interesting.
mutated. They're like possessed that aren't in the stuff I've read. They're like possessed. They're all
They've gone
mutated,
through
but
the
they
they've gone
still
through the flesh
function.
change. Yeah.
They've gone through the flesh change, but they still function like normal Marines. Like they're not like pure madmen melee. They still have like
Thousand
ultimate
Suns
stuff.
Eightbound or Thousand Suns Chosen.
Yeah,
So the Thousand Suns range is big. Is the Thousand Suns range is a decent size only because of the Zangors, which like don't fucking count. Like Zangor shamans and like all that shit. Like that's just AOS shit that's put into Thousand Suns, like out of laziness.
they have auto pistols. They're not and chain swords. They're not
Oh my
AOS.
god, no one. Uh, I don't know. I don't
They
know.
have chain
Zangors.
swords, man.
I fucking hate Zangors. I just hate that it takes up spots in the Suns range. But
Yeah, I think they look
um,
cool. They're cool models, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what. Back to the question. I don't know what Templars would get. That's so hard because
I
I
just
don't.
don't think they would get much.
There's like not
A lot of their
anything
stuff was pretty new.
because pretty much everything's got a character. Every codex got like a character. Some stuff's got a character and a unit, but most things have just got a character. Am I right?
Yeah, everything has a pretty new model that is like a Black Templar thing. Maybe maybe they'll make a more multi-part Crusader Marine kit because like the Crusader kit is very cool, but it's very
Kind of
like there's
monopose.
only a certain number of poses in it.
Hmm.
It's not as like modular.
Yeah, but I don't
But
see
they've
them
moved
really.
away from this hyper. They've moved away from the very modular kits in
Yeah, I don't
general.
see them replacing that kit. It's so new and it's still like such a good kit.
Well, I don't think they would replace it necessarily, but like making a supplemental kit
It'd be rad if they did
to be
like
like
just yeah, like just an upgrade
to be
sprue
like
for the
intercessors or something.
yeah, an upgrade sprue for intercessors, so you can kind of hybrid it, crusaders or intercessors. Um,
There's also the possibility they just get like a whole new unit. You know,
yeah, I think they would
that could
get.
happen.
I think they would get a character before that, right? I think they would just go the route that they've
I
done with the other fucking their other lazy attempts and just give them a character.
Yeah,
Um,
it could just be assault terminators and then a marshal and terminator armor.
yeah, like a specific Black Templar, Marshal, and Terminator armor.
Specifically, a black Templar marshal and terminator armor.
Yeah, that'd be
It
cool.
maybe has like some sort of special weapon that's black Templar
I mean,
specific. You know.
honestly, if I were them, I would release with Templars. I would release Assault Terminators and a Terminator Ancient because we don't currently have a Terminator Ancient. There's no Terminator Ancient model right
Yeah.
now. Like, so give us Assault Terminators and an Ancient, right? Like,
The
or that's the release of the Terminator Castellan because there's currently no Lieutenant in Terminator armor.
yeah.
So
Alpha Omega says Sigismund comes back to life and gets a new model. Beam Six says Avatar of Sigismund. That already
yeah,
exists.
that's the Emperor's champion. Is the Avatar of
Every time a
Sigismund.
dude gets visions from the Emperor and puts on that armor, he embodies that. He is the Avatar of Sigismund.
Or arguably
Um,
or Helbrecht also sort of fills that role. I really wanted because I did the custom Helbrecht, and I actually have 2 custom Helbrechts currently, but I have my custom Helbrecht. I really wanted to use Sigismund as my custom Helbrecht, and that model sucks ass. For $70, that Forge World model is awful.
is it like a tiny little
It's
resin
so bad,
model?
yeah, so bad. The pose is good, but like the model is awful. So,
I mean,
but
maybe he'll get a new model in Horus Heresy at some point, and then you can fiddle with it.
Forge World does have one of my favorite Templars model is the Lieutenant with combi weapon. Proxy. I don't know. This lighting's so
Yeah.
bad for showing minis. But Lieutenant with combi weapon, but it's the console champion, loyalist champion console. Is like straight up a Black Templar model with a combi weapon and a beaky helm.
You could do some stuff with Fafnir Ron. He's a badass model.
Yeah, I like
If
his
remember
model.
right.
I like his model. Um,
I also like the idea of Templars using axes. You know, like a
Yeah,
little more
yeah, yeah.
brutal.
Well, a lot of the sword brethren. Man, this really became Templar talk for a little bit. A lot of the
What do you
I
expect?
know you put us two on here. A lot of the sword brethren and crusaders have. Well, a lot of the sword brethren have power axes as options.
Yeah,
So,
I,
um,
I'm planning on getting like a unit of assault intercessors for my Templar or
doing
Templar adjacent
yeah.
chapter, and I think I'm gonna try to model them all with chain axes, just to like
Where are you gonna
make
get
them a
all those
little
chain
different.
axes
I have a bunch of chain axe bits I
from?
ordered from Forge World a while back
Okay,
because the model I have for my Terminator Marshal that I converted with like 6 different Terminator kits. Uh, I made him a double-headed chain axe with a flamer in the middle. That's like the flamer part of his combi weapon.
that's funny.
Uh, One day I'll paint it up, but
Cool. Well, I think that's it for us today. Hey, what's Monday? Do you know what Monday is?
Monday, if I remember correctly, we're going to be playing Age of Sigmar,
Okay,
which
Combat
means this
Patrol.
weekend I'm going to be doing a bunch of painting.
Oh, you're playing
Uh,
an actual game of
we
Sigma.
were aiming for like 1,500,
Okay,
I
cool,
think, or
rad,
1,000. Uh, we'll see what happens.
rad. All right, well then we've
But yeah,
got Age of Sigmar Monday. Next Thursday, who knows? Hopefully we have Matt and we can talk some Dark Angels, or Blood Angels. Excuse me.
ah,
Hopefully next week we have
yeah,
Matt. We'll
that
talk
makes a
some
lot
Blood
more sense.
Angels. But otherwise, hey guys, this has been great. If you like this, subscribe to the channel. Give a like, share this with your friends that play 40k, share this with your friends that don't play 40k. And as always, don't forget to check out our merch store. I don't have a little pop up for the merch store like Jordan does, so YOLO. And I could
I
not
don't
find
have
my Slam
any
Sector
merch
shirt.
near. I could go digging in my closet for a fanny pack, but
Yeah,
that'd take too much
hopefully. Oh,
time.
I've got one. I've got a fanny pack right here.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Matt
Um,
will buy you a beer
if you
if you are of age and you run into him in a place in Atlanta with a fanny pack like one of ours.
if you
Uh,
show up to Dragon Con at the end of the month with one of those fanny packs, Matt will buy you a beer, and I will buy you a shot.
Hell yeah.
Um,
Who can say
you know
no
what?
to
If
that?
I will say this now, if Jordan is still sick Monday, I'll play some Space Marine on stream or something, so that we still have
Yeah.
a stream Monday.
I'll play with you. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
We can do that.
Rad. All right.
All
Well,
right. Well, thanks
I gotta figure out
for
what buttons I'm supposed to hit. I don't know. Maybe this one.